Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, August 27, 2014. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Social activist Ginny Oliver is pleading with the Vincentian public to take action to end violence against women, highlighting that the issue should be everyone's business. The call was made by Oliver while addressing a leadership workshop on Saturday hosted by the National Council of Women, the NCW. Oliver, who was one of the facilitators at the seminar, which was held at French's house, lamented that more needed to be done by members of the public, whom she chided for just turning a blind eye to the issue. The head of the counseling facility at Marion House explained that too often, people who intervene on behalf of victims are castigated as being nosy and looking for comments. She, however, pointed out that members of the public have the responsibility to speak and act on behalf of victims under the Balem du Para Convention, which was officially established in 1995 and to which this country signed on to in 1996. Oliver highlighted that the convention affords citizens the right to take up legal procedures on victims' behalf as far as the international level and called on persons to exercise their civil liberties. Meanwhile, trade unionist and educator Joy Matthews, who was another facilitator at the event, spoke on the topic Empowering Women for Leadership. Matthews used the opportunity to call on women to know their strengths and weaknesses in their approach to management. This, she said, could determine their effectiveness in higher government and business sectors. A new cancer support group has officially been set up here, dubbed SCOTCH. The SCOTCH Cancer Support Group seeks to be devoted to the problems faced by persons in SVG who are diagnosed with a variety of cancers, as well as their families and friends who are also affected. Speaking at the launch, representative of SCOTCH, Nadia Brown, said the support group can offer some or most answers to the endless questions that persons have after being diagnosed with cancer.
So that persons feel more in control and less worried about treatment. Speaking about your cancer with persons who are diagnosed or were diagnosed helps you to cope with the new emotions. According to an Ethiopian proverb, if you conceal your disease, you cannot expect to be cured. SCOTCH Cancer Support Group serves as a family away from home for many persons battling cancer by offering information, resources, and connections necessary for treatment, as well as love and support, so that persons with a cancer diagnosis can feel optimistic and empowered.
She told those at the launch that they should not be afraid to join the support group.
It offers a high level of confidentiality and trustworthiness. So tonight, it is the hope of the support group that persons present here are inspired by the group's initiatives and continue to offer support emotionally, spiritually, and financially.
Meanwhile, Chief Medical Officer Simone Kisa Beach commended SCOTCH for creating an organization designed to empower persons to be surviving, strong, courageous, optimistic, resilient, confident, and hopeful in the face of cancer.
I say us because, unfortunately, the reality is that the majority of us will at some point in our lives be touched by cancer, either personally or a family member or a friend. Cancers as a group represent one of the leading causes of morbidity and mortality in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Priority area number 3 of the draft strategic plan of the Ministry of Health is strengthening the management of chronic non-communicable diseases. Strategic objective number 2 of this priority area states in part to reduce the incidence and negative impact of all types of cancers. And one of the strategic interventions is to coordinate with all relevant stakeholders for the implementation of programs and activities at the grassroots level.
Kisa Beach says SCOTCH is a grassroots organization which the Ministry of Health would like to partner with to meet their objectives.
SCOTCH is vital in our fight against cancers. Education, advocacy, and especially support from others is especially important in the battle against cancers. I have been in the medical field for more than 27 years before I truly understood the pain and fear and loss caused by cancer. My mother's loss taught me this. It made me, I think, a better shoulder to lean on. That's one of the potential strengths of a group such as SCOTCH. Your members know and can help better. I would now end by pledging the support of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment to SCOTCH as we move ahead together, stronger.
Some residents of Paul's Avenue in Kingstown are continuing their effort to get street lights installed in certain sections of the community. The area has had its fair share of criminal activity, and according to resident David Laidlow, some of these crimes might have been avoided if the area was properly lit.
Night time, right? The place, so opposite my house, the car park, and inside within the area surrounding my house, right, is always dark, right? Okay, and like you can hardly make out people who's in the car park, right? People who's passing up and down. You understand, right? A lot of things that be going on in Paul's lot, right? A lot of people use it like escape route. You understand, right? And it's like people could be parked inside the car, right? Car could be parked up in the car park. You don't know who's inside the car waiting to chop up people.
Laidlow pointed out to SVG-TV News that the main electricity company, Vinlec, was written to and a formal application submitted for the provision of streetlights in the community back in April. However, he said nothing has been done since.
The community spoke to Vinlec and them concerning about it. The community leaders and them put in some application concerning Vinlec about it, right? About the vicinity near the street light. And from since that time till now, right, nothing happened been.
Meanwhile, SVG-TV News contacted Vinlec, and the response given was that the company will look into the matter and that any decision that is to be taken regarding the placement of additional streetlights in the community will be communicated directly to the community. SVG-TV News also contacted Marlon Stevenson, a member of a committee which looks out for the interests of Paul's Avenue, and he again confirmed that an application was submitted early this year for more streetlights in the area. However, he said he understands that the decision has to be taken at the cabinet level. Stevenson, however, stated that there are other important projects in the community which, in his opinion, took precedence over the streetlight issue at this time. The cleaning of drains and gutters in order to prevent the breeding of mosquitoes and the removal and proper disposal of garbage were two issues which he highlighted. The leading edge of a tropical wave is currently affecting the islands. According to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Meteorological Office, a westward moving wave will continue to affect the islands this evening, producing cloudiness, showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Residents in areas prone to flooding and landslides should continue to exercise caution. Meanwhile, two other tropical waves are set to be located over the tropical Atlantic. The SVG Met Office will continue to monitor the progress of the tropical waves. Coming up, university graduates here are told to see themselves as the new powers in the country. More stories on the local scene when SVGTV News continues. Don't go away. Welcome back. Students granted the opportunity to acquire a university education are being told to recognize and appreciate the true power that comes with a university education. Former Minister of Culture René Batiste, while speaking at an event hosted by the Cuban Embassy to send off 7 Vincentian students to pursue studies in Cuba, said it is extremely important that upon completion of their studies, that they see themselves as the new powers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I want to see Oxy open when he had the premiere of his first movie, charter flights coming to St. Vincent. To look at that premiere of his big movie. That's why I want you guys to be so powerful. You must be the new power in the country. Don't worry, politicians. We're there for 5 years at a time. You're going to be there forever. Doctor forever, filmmaker forever. That's the difference. We're just 5 years at a time.
2 A-level scholarships and 10 education bursaries were awarded by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Cooperative Credit Union yesterday. President of the SVG-TCCU, Dwight Lewis, says he's impressed with the performance of the recipients of these awards thus far. However, he says what is disturbing is the absence of the males.
Again, I have been perhaps belaboring this point on similar occasions. I think we have to do a lot more to save our males. At a similar activity held by the credit union, where we issued scholarships to persons who are proceeding on to secondary schools, the numbers were almost even. But again, it means at some point during the education process, the males are slipping away. And we have to do something, maybe from the credit union movement, maybe from Teachers Credit Union, to see if we can address that problem.
Chief Executive Officer of the SVG-TCCU, Julian Jack, said the results they have seen from the recipients this year are the best since they have been given out education bursaries and A-level scholarships.
So many persons who have received so many A's that I wonder if the exam getting easier. But I know it's not that. It's the dedication of the person, the persistence with which they know they have to do it, and the sacrifices that they would have made to make sure that they didn't just only pass, but they pass in flying colors.
Meanwhile, the 2014 Education Bursary and A-level scholarship recipients expressed appreciation to the credit union for its support towards their education.
I would like to say a special thank you for your assistance you have given to us today. This no doubt means a lot to us, especially at a time when the financial climate all around seems unfavorable. Many of us have had to struggle to pay towards our education, whether with or without a loan, for some semester by semester. This contribution has most brightened my week because the financial burden placed on this semester would be reduced a lot.
I want to thank the credit union for their hard work and dedication with forwarding these people our education, because I am a recipient of the scholarship from last year, and it has helped me greatly because the cost of books and clothing and all that has been increasing greatly over the years, and I just want to thank them for their consideration in this and giving us money to be able to help forward our education.
The CARICOM Secretariat has confirmed appointments of the SVG CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, CYA, for 2014-2015. CYA Keishon Shallow remains as the male CARICOM Youth Ambassador, with Shanika John as the new female CARICOM Youth Ambassador. In congratulating the two on their appointments, Minister of Youth Frederick Stevenson conveyed his satisfaction at the performance of outgoing female ambassador Tamira Brown, who held the post for the last 3 years. He expressed confidence that Shallow and John will continue the program with tremendous impact. The CARICOM Youth Ambassador Program is coordinated by the CARICOM Secretariat, facilitated at the national level by departments responsible for youth affairs, and implemented through multiple networking and collaborative relationships with stakeholders such as private-public sector agencies, development partners, national youth councils and organizations, and retired CARICOM youth ambassadors. The mission of the CYA Corps is to educate young people about and encourage their participation in regional integration and development, and advise policymakers on formulating development policies and programs that address youth needs and concerns. The 95 Vincentian youths who recently participated in the 2014 Police Band Summer Program were not only exposed to learning about and playing several musical instruments, but were also lectured on a number of social ills. Speaking at the closing of the camp, Assistant Commissioner of Police Frankie Joseph said, as a law enforcement organization, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force believes strongly in the holistic development of the nation's youth.
And as a result of this, we broadened the Police Band Summer Program to include lectures in drug awareness, counseling on issues regarding children, and human trafficking. However, We also give you the opportunity to play games so that you can further develop your social skills as you interact with your peers.
The Ministry of Education is advising parents and guardians that the new school year begins next Monday, September 1st. This as rumors have been circulating that the start of the new year has been pushed back a week to September 8th. However, SVG-TV News was told by a staff at the Ministry of Education that all plans are in place for next Monday's opening and that an official announcement would be made by the ministry.